Yo, what's good, Cutthroat Mob? You already know what it is. You tapped into Peace of Mind Reloaded, the only space where we keep it real, raw, and unfiltered. Ain't no fake shit here, no sugarcoating, no pretending. If you came for comfort, you clicked the wrong place. But if you came to see yourself, to feel yourself, to elevate, you in the right room. Tonight we diving into the shit most people never say out loud. The unspoken battles. The fears you hide behind loyalty, love, and comfort. The pressure nobody applauds. The crossroads moments that decide if you stay small or finally level up. We talking levels, the shift, and crossroads. Growth ain't cozy. Fear ain't polite. But staying the same, that's death disguised as comfort. And I'm here to make sure that you see the truth before it hits you sideways. So, take a seat or stand or pace, doesn't matter. Just listen with your soul open and your ego in check. All right, cool. Because we ain't just talking, we dissecting, we decoding, we building the version of you that won't apologize for winning. And if you don't already know, my signature line to start every episode is get your mind right or get left behind. Follow me if you follow me. All right. So without further ado, y'all do whatever y'all gotta do. Get cozy. Grab everything you need to grab. Your chargers, cell phone, your pillow, blankies, and rock with me because we about to get started. So without further ado, this is Peace of Mind. I'm your host, Princess the Goddess, and this episode is Unspoken. So, boom. We on segment one, the unspoken, right? You ever notice how the shit that hurts the most is stuff that we never say out loud? The things that we bury under loyalty, comfort, and fear. That's where it starts. Inside, silence, heavy, pressing on your chest. See, everyone got a war going on that they're not sharing. They ain't sharing it, right? And most people, they pretend it's not there. They laugh through the pain, they smile through the struggle, they nod like everything's all right, everything's straight, but deep down inside, they know. That's why I call this episode Unspoken. We talking about these them battles, the fear that sits like a guest in your house refusing to leave, right? That guilt, the guilt that whispers every time you consider leveling up, the anxiety of growth, the pain of leaving people behind, not because you want to, but because evolution don't wait, right? Some of y'all, like y'all stuck in cycles. And it's not because the world out to get you. It's because you don't face yourself. You refuse to say the shit that you need to say. Loyalty to a fault, love that holds you hostage, comfort that feels like safety but is really a cage. Shit like that. Let's be clear. Being honest with yourself is raw. It's ugly sometimes. It'll make you a little uncomfortable, but here's the secret. You want to know a secret? Let me tell you the secret. Everything that you've been avoiding is in the doorway to your next level. It's the doorway. So if you fear, your fear, that's your compass. It's like it's the thing that you avoid most is exactly where you need to go. That's why tonight starts here by naming the unspoken, right? By giving it air, by facing it head on without flinching. Now that we got the unspoken out on the table, let's talk about levels, growth, evolution, the part nobody warned you about, right? See, it's like when you try to level up, you try to push past the same old patterns, Life has a way of testing you, not gently, not politely either. It throws pressure on every side. So it's like it's like a crushing feeling. Like if you know what pressure feels like, it's like a it's like a it's like a pressure, but it can make you feel crushed if it's too much, right? It separates the real from the fake. The prepared from the complacent, and the willing from the scared, right? Levels aren't just about money, success, or status, right? Nah, that's just the surface level shit. Levels are about internal elevation, right? Becoming the person who can handle the truth, the responsibility, the energy, and the isolation that growth demands, Follow me if you following me. And at any given time, cutthroat mob, if y'all feel the need to want to speak on something, please feel free to do it. This is the cutthroat mob. This is peace of mind. I'm giving you a peace of mind so you can leave with a peace of mind. Follow me if you follow me. All right, cool, cool, cool. Oh, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. But yeah, we'll get back to that near the end. I just wanted to let y'all know that. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, so like I was saying, yeah, becoming the person who can handle the truth, the responsibility, the energy, and the isolation that growth demands. Most people don't understand this because they think that growth is easy. They think it's just a mindset. But nah, growth, it costs. It costs. It costs friendships. It costs comfort. Let me say them two again. It costs friendship. It costs comfort. It costs moments of being liked, accepted, and understood. If you can't handle that cost, you get stuck. You get stuck replaying the same mistakes, same arguments, same betrayal, same self doubt over and over and over and over and over again. Levels separate people, and here's the kicker, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Evolution isolates you from what no longer serves you. If it's not for you, it's going to separate you from it. And the people who stay with you, those are the real ones. Those who ride the wave of your truth, yeah, them the real ones. Those who respect your grind, respect the grind period, or those who don't feel threatened by your growth, because it's always people out there who always trying to put themselves in competition with you, and they call themselves your friends, but they want to be competing with you, and y'all both on some elevation or growth shit. But how can we both be on some elevation or growth shit if you trying to compete with me? And then how can I even begin to look at you as my friend because you trying to go against me? Shit, I just want to see you. I want to see you elevate too. I want to see you grow. I want to see you succeed. But people today lack that type of mindset when it comes to friends. But we're going to talk about that during another episode because I have a series about friends and family dynamics and all of that good shit. So, yeah, like I was saying, anything that's not meant for you, don't be afraid if it removes itself from your life. Because what is meant for you is going to be there and it's going to stay. It's going to stay there. Period. Point blank. Ain't no other way around it. Follow me if you follow me. And it might be a hard thing to accept, you guys. It might be. But shit, ain't nobody said this shit was going to be easy. If you just looking for the easy way of things, I mean, how you really expect to know how to live life, period. But again, everybody got their own little mindsets or whatever. It ain't no shame. I think how I think, and y'all can think how y'all think. It's just me. But follow me if you following me. Okay? So, moving on. We going to segment 3, right? Segment 3 is the shift. Say it with me, y'all. The shift. The shift. Didn't you get some motherfucking chills in your bone? Didn't that send chills up your spine? Because when you think shift, it sounds a lot like a change, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound like change? Now we move into the shift. That moment when staying the same starts hurting more than changing. That's where your fear collides with your purpose. That's where your comfort starts suffocating you. Where everything you've ignored, hidden, or avoided finally demands your attention. It's like, think of like a shift like an earthquake, but the cause of an earthquake, see? Because it's like landslides or tectonic plates and they're not aligned. You know, it's like they're tired of staying in the same place, or one of them have worn out, so now it's just like one of them is elevating and the other is de-escalating, but they end up colliding at the same time. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense? That was a great analogy, I think. For those of y'all who know about, the earthquakes, if you don't, go look it up. I don't got time to teach y'all about that shit, but anyway, um yeah, fear collides with purpose. So now you got the landslides. Boom, tectonic plates. One is going upwards and the other one's going downwards. And it happens with tsunamis and all of that, okay? Regardless. Because it's still all gonna cause a big ass earthquake. And when the tectonic plates, when they slide, because there's a thing called it's a, what is it, a fault line, right? That's where the earthquakes, most of them happen. That's when the land of Earth, they shift, they slide, but they don't just slide. They do collide into one another. That's why I'm using this analogy, because it was the perfect example to show you guys of what I mean by shift. Okay. The shift isn't subtle. It's not gentle. It's loud. It's uncomfortable, and it shakes your relationships, just like a motherfucking earthquake. And it shakes your career, and it shakes your mindset, and it shakes your soul. And here's the thing that most people miss: the shift is not a punishment. It's a calling. It's a motherfucking wake up call. It's like, you ever woke up in the morning and smell some bomb ass breakfast or coffee, y'all? Cause that should be smelling fire. You'd be like, what is that? Yeah, that's a signal that you're ready for more, but only if you're willing to face the truth. That saying, wake up and smell the coffee. A lot of people scared to wake up and smell that coffee. But let me tell you, if you want that change and if you want something better in life, you gotta be willing to change. You can't keep being afraid. The fear is what's gonna hold you back, and it's gonna cause you to stay in the same place, and you're gonna keep going through the same things because you have not learned your lesson. You ain't learned, and you're not ready to move on. You're not ready to excel to the next level. But just think for a second and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Afraid of change? Afraid of growth? Afraid of elevating? Afraid of doing better? Because I know that every day I wake up, I'm just feeling better than I was. I'm doing better than I was the day prior. Period. That's growth right there. Because I'm not afraid of change. Sometimes change could be a scary thing, but if you stay stuck in the same place and let fear hold you back, you really ain't living life. You gonna miss out. You gonna miss out on all the important things because your fear is what's most important to you, and it shouldn't be. That's just that's just the hardcore truth, y'all. Y'all gotta wake up. Smell that coffee because it smells good. Okay? It smells. I mean, I don't know about all the coffees. I just know when I be making my coffee, that shit be smelling good. Okay? All right. So Shit, I don't know what type of coffee y'all drink. That ain't my business. But if you smell that coffee when you wake up in the morning, if you smell that breakfast when you wake up in the morning and it smells good, be like, am I ready for that breakfast? Whether it's pancakes with the crispy little edges, perfectly buttery, or it's them waffles, some eggs, bacon, sausages on the side. Yeah, but we ain't here to talk about food, all right? Cool. Oh, but y'all want to know the truth? The truth is brutal, right? It's brutal because because fear will always try to stop you, like I said before, and loyalty will try to tie you down. Love will test your boundaries. It's gonna test your boundaries, and the comfort will whisper, "Stay small. It's safer here." But if you answer that whisper, you stay trapped. Stop listening to them whispers all the motherfucking time. Listen to what your spirit is telling you. The whispers and the spirits are two different things. But your soul is going to tell you. Your soul, let your soul guide you. Let God guide you guys. Okay? If you're willing to grow. If you're wondering why you're probably still stuck in the same situation or still in the same place, you have to be willing to change your mindset. Growth doesn't just come in the physical form. This is mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You cannot be afraid to grow. I mean, you can if you want to. That's your choice. But who, I mean, make it make sense because I can't. I don't know anybody who would want to stay stuck in fear. I'd rather live.
That's right.
So the shift, it demands a decision and it forces you to see the crossroads ahead. Remain safe or risk everything for growth. Remain light or remain real. Remain stagnant or become your highest self. And it's in that tension, in that burning discomfort, that life separates the talkers from the doers. So you could say, "Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for growth. Oh, I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that." But the talking is just the talking. You gotta walk the talk, okay? That's what I'm saying. In other words, you gotta talk the talk, but walk it when you're talking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The ones who survive evolution, who it's that it's when life is separating the talkers from the doers and the ones, like who survive evolution from the ones who fade, the ones who rise from the ones who settle. That's the problem, y'all. Y'all get too comfortable with your life this day and age, and it's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're in a good situation and you feel like you're doing good. But always know that better is possible regardless of how good you're doing. And this, I mean, shit, you could be a celebrity with $1 billion, but you don't think that better is possible just because you got $1 billion? Because where you think all that money gonna go when we're not here, when you're no longer here? You could be doing better. You live your life to the fullest. Period. Stop settling. Stop settling. There ain't no limits. Y'all put too many limits on yourself, too many limits on your life, too many limits to the things that you can do. Anything is possible, honestly. But you gotta believe. You really have to know it in your heart. You have to believe it and you have to know it within your heart that anything is possible. But this is what I was speaking about when I was talking about this, spoken into existence and stuff, and you know, when I was speaking about manifestations and affirmations. Y'all have to follow me if you follow me because it's all falling into place, okay? And tonight, we're going to walk through that tension. We're going to face the fear. We're going to challenge the loyalty that holds you hostage. We're going to question the love that cages you. And we're going to find the hidden truth in the discomfort. Because the shift doesn't ask permission. The shift doesn't care about excuses, it just demands action. So now, moving forward to Segment 4. Whew. Y'all ever listen to that song Listen by Beyonce? She was like, I am alone at a crossroads. I'm not gonna sing, stop playing. But nah, for real. This segment 4 is called Crossroads, alright? Now we finally we finally arrive at the crossroads. The moment that life slaps you upside your motherfucking head and says, pick a side, comfort or becoming, fear or freedom. The old you or the new you. I'm not talking about hypotheticals. I'm talking the real shit that hits your chest when nobody's looking. When the noise fades and it's just you in the mirror. Shit, I'll be standing in the mirror because I like what I see when I look in. I love whom I see when I look in the mirror, okay? And I'm not conceited, I'm just in love with myself because if not me, then who, okay? Cool. Crossroads are the moments that expose everything, all right? Those expose your excuses, they expose your weak spots, they expose your loyalty, and they show you who's really riding with you and who's just riding along for the convenience of old patterns. Those moments are uncomfortable because they force choice. hmm Think of it this way: you got a one-way ticket down a two-way street. So you got a choice to go left or you got a choice to go right. Or, matter of fact, I can make it even trickier. How about you got a one-way ticket down a three-way street? And you could go anywhere. You have the choice to go anywhere, make any turn, or keep straight, right? Or to make it even better, you got a one-way ticket down a four-way street. Or what I'll say, what do they call it? An intersection, right? And that's when it's like, think of it like it's shaped like a T, a lowercase, not a capital, right? Okay, intersection, right? Now you could go left, right, forward, or backwards. That's your choice. You could go any direction in which you choose to go. The choice is all yours. But that's when it becomes hard for people, for a lot of people, because that's when the hard decisions get to start. It's like a test. It's a test on your faith. It's a test on, it's testing you, period. It's giving you, is giving you a test. And once again, you have the decision to go whichever direction you want to go. So then you got one side saying, okay, well, here's my friends and family. And then the other side saying, okay, here's my job, my career, my dreams. And then you got the one going backwards, like, okay, here's my past. But then the one going forward says, here's my future. Which way are you going to go? But I'm going to give y'all like something. I'm going to give y'all something from like arithmetics. I once learned that the fastest distance between 2 points is straight ahead. So if you got the future straight ahead, but then, like I said, you got the past behind you, then you got your friends and family on one side, your job and career on, and your dreams on the next. Which way out of those four directions are you going to go? That's what you got to think like. And yes, it becomes very, very hard, but it shouldn't be that hard for you to know what you really want in life. The choice is yours if you want it to be. The choice is yours because evidently it is. That's what we were granted with free will. God gave us that power. But there's so much more power to you than just that. You have the key to unlock it. You just have to know which way to go. Right? So,
Yeah,
like I said,
I agree.
those moments, they can, they can be extremely uncomfortable because they force choice. And choice is a scary thing. Scary because it costs something every damn time. Every single time. Some of you are probably listening to this and already knowing the cost. You're afraid of leaving people behind. You're afraid of stepping into your power because it might isolate you. It might challenge your relationships or ignite conflict. That fear is all natural and it's okay. But here's the truth, nothing grows in fear. Growth demands risk. How you going how you going experience anything great in life if you don't take risk? How you going to unlock your full potential if you don't take risks? What is life without risks, right? Why are we just doing everything the safe way? Don't play it safe. Play it by your rules. Your life, your rules. In other words, just be mindful of other people's though. Keep it, yeah. Be mindful of other people because you have to think, okay, everything I do, it doesn't just affect me, it affects those around me or not even around those people connected to you. And I explained that in my last episode. So if you guys aren't already caught up, please go get caught up. And so you can understand what I'm speaking about. Growth demands stepping into discomfort. Like I said, stop settling and getting too comfortable everywhere. Just because you might be in a great place in life and you could be doing good you could be a celebrity, billions of dollars, but better does exist. Don't think, okay, well, I've already reached my limit. That's the problem. Y'all put too many limits. Y'all, it's no limitations. There ain't no limits. Ain't no limits. Live without them. Live without them. And then you will see just how precious life itself can be or is. So, growth demands stepping into discomfort with open eyes and an unflinching heart. At the crossroads, that's when you finally find out who you are. Not who you say you are or who you pretend to be or who you think you are or who you think you want to be. Nah, who you really are when the smoke clears. And that's where the power lies, because once you choose, once you commit, that path forward starts to reveal itself. Every decision, every action, every sacrifice now aligns with the version of you that refuses to settle. So now let's tie it all together, right? So we talked, we just went through the levels, we went through the shift, the crossroads, all of it leads here. Alignment. Alignment. This is where fear, growth, loyalty, and evolution converge. This is where the unspoken becomes manifest. Alignment ain't some fluffy good vibes only concept. Nah. Nope. Nope. It's a science. I love that word. Isn't it beautiful? Because it's a science. It's the science, okay? It's the science, okay? And it's a practice. It's a discipline. It's knowing what you want, feeling it in your bones, feel it in your soul, thinking it in your mind, and acting on it consistently. When even when everybody or nobody's watching, you know? Your thoughts, your words, your actions, they're all energy, and energy creates reality whether you understand it or not. If you've been stuck and you've been, like saying affirmations, but seeing no results, it's probably because your energy is scattered. Your focus is divided, your alignment is off. Like I was saying when I was describing the tectonic plates and the earthquakes and shit like that, like it was a perfect example. Yeah, it was the perfect example because it's not okay. They collide, them tectonic plates, when there's a shift, they collide, but it's because it's not aligned. They're no longer aligned. It's the pressure. So, obviously, one of those tectonic plates are lower than the other. If y'all don't know about earthquakes, please go search it up and do your research or something because look, this ain't school. I'm just giving you some food for your soul, for your spirit, okay? Cool, cool. As I was saying, yeah, your alignment is off. The people you run with, the habits you hold, the fears that you cling to, and all of that shapes your frequency. Okay? The people that you love, the loyalty you carry, and the actions you take, they ripple out. If y'all don't know what ripple is, go get a little pebble and throw it in a pool of water, and you'll see the ripples. It's like it's like a magnet. It expands. It's like a magnifying expansion, if that makes any sense. It's beautiful to watch though, but it got some irony to it too. Cause and effect. That's what the ripple is like. That's what the ripple effect is. Okay, because I went and I took a rock or a pebble and I threw it in this pool of water, it created ripples, and those ripples didn't just stay just a small size. They expanded, they got bigger, and then eventually it disappeared. Every single decision that you make affects the reality that you walk into tomorrow, period. That's why fear holds you back. Fear keeps you misaligned, not misaligned, unaligned, not aligned. Fear keeps you from choosing growth and from leveling up and from becoming. But here's the key: growth is a muscle. You train it by feeling your fear, naming it, and walking through it anyway. You align your mind, your emotions, and your actions with the life that you want, not the life that you've been conditioned to settle for. That's where manifestation meets action. That's where the shift becomes permanent. That's where your energy starts pulling in exactly what you deserve. So before you leave this episode tonight, remember this: fear is natural, comfort is tempting, but growth is inevitable if you refuse to settle. Though the unspoken battles, the levels, the shifts, the crossroads, they're all part of your evolution. Own it, align with it, and do not apologize for it. Don't. And just like every episode, I'll leave you with that signature line to carry this energy with you. Get your mind right or get left behind. All right, well, all right, Cutthroat Mob, that's a wrap for tonight. We went deep. We talked about the unspoken battles. We dissected fear, growth, and loyalty. We walked through the levels, felt the shift, faced some crossroads head on, and now it's on you.
Blessings.
Remember that nothing changes if you don't do the work. Comfort is easy, but it keeps you small. Fear is natural, but it's not the boss of you. Growth is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but it's the only way that you step into your real power. So I leave you with this. I leave you guys with this, okay? And hear me loud and clearly. Stop hiding. Stop excusing. Stop waiting for someone else to approve your evolution. Align your mind, your actions, and your energy. Speak your truth, live it unapologetically, and never, ever, ever, ever settle for the life that doesn't match your soul. Because at the end of the day, your growth, your shift, your levels, that's your manifestation in motion. The universe notices, karma notices. And if you show up consistently, you don't just survive the journey, you own it. Thank y'all, Cutthroat Mob. This is Peace of Mind Reloaded. I'm your host, Princess the Goddess. And as always, like I said, get your mind right or get left behind. Stay bold, stay real, stay unbroken. And that'll be all for today. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, share, spread the word, and everybody just remember that every episode, it always gets better. It always gets better from what you heard the last episode. Okay. And at any given time, if y'all feel like y'all want to, speak about any specific topics or share a story or, do interviews, whatever you might want to do, you guys are more than welcome. Drop them in the comments or DM me. All of that shit will be provided in the link attached to this video. But yeah, support your girl. Make sure y'all spread the word. And remember what I said, get your mind right or get left behind. Yeah. Every episode gets better from here. This is Peace of Mind Reloaded. Once again, I'm your host, Princess the Goddess. And as always, well, I'm going to say this one more time, get your mind right or get left behind. Stay bold, stay real, and stay unbroken. This is Peace of Mind, and we out.